Today I'm going to show you how to make a mini sensory garden in a pot. So no matter how much space you've got, even if it's a front doorstep, you can have a pot there and have some lovely sensory plants to help you find calm when you need it most. So you're going to need a pot. This one's terracotta. You can use plastic, but the must-have is that it must have a hole in the bottom, and this is to allow drainage. So if we do get rain and it rains onto the pot, then or when you water it, the water can escape out the bottom and it will just stop everything from rotting and dying, basically. You're going to need a few bits of either big stones or bricks to go in the bottom of your pot there. There we go, chuck those in. They're just going to help with the drainage, really. And then you're going to need some compost. So I've got this peat-free compost here, which I'm going to put in. Meant for veggies, but it was all I could get, so that's going to go in. And quite a lot in there. There we go. But you want to leave a bit of a gap at the top. I've probably got a few inches there, because you don't want to fill it right up to the top with compost, otherwise every time you water it the compost just leaks out and it's really irritating. You're wasting valuable compost. And then what are you going to plant in it? Well, I'm going to plant a few things actually. I'm going to plant some summer flowering bulbs. So these are gladioli. Some other really good ones at the minute are nerines or the acidanthera, which are also from the gladioli family. So these ones are going to look like those lovely tall spires and with that lovely white and pink flower. Then I'm going to plant some of my seedlings that I've grown. Obviously they're not flowering yet, so it's hard for you to see what they look like. So I've got the seed packets, I've got some stocks. These are scented, so they're going to give a lovely sweet scent when you come home from wherever you've been, or if you just want to sit and chill out and smell it, then they will provide a nice calming sweet scent. There's going to be some Panicum sparkling fountain, which is almost like quite a tall grass with long thin stems and then these little sort of almost orbs on the end. So that just gives a really lovely, it's a really nice one to touch, but also it's really lovely in the wind and it will sway and you'll hear the noise of it as well. So that's a really, really good addition. And then the last one is some Senecchio. So this one's called Silver Dust. I don't know if you can see it here. I'm not going to plant this actual one because it's really tall and out of control. And I want to give all the plants a bit of and put them on an even keel. So I've got some ones that I've grown this year, but this is one from last year. I don't know if you can see the kind of softness of the leaves. So this is a really lovely sensory one. So if you're ever feeling really like, oh my God, I just need to chill, you can come out and touch that and it will really, really focus on it and it will calm you. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to plant the bulbs first. Now I'm just going to move this over. I've put the compost in already. I could have sort of half filled it, put the bulbs in and then filled on top, but I'm just going to get my hands in the soil and I'm going to bury them deep. So you want the pointy one bit at the top and the kind of rooty bit at the bottom. And I'm putting 5 in because you always want to try and put odd numbers of things if you can. And I'm just reaching down and popping them in there. There we go. So I'm putting one in the middle and then the others around the outside. So hopefully they will come up and provide some nice end of summer colour is my plan. So pop that in. But they will be quite tall as well. So I'm trying to do a mix of heights. So they're going to be quite tall. This grass is quite tall as well. The stocks are kind of a mid-height. And then the Senecchio probably won't get that tall. They're relatively low. So there you go. So you've got your pot with your bulbs buried and you've got the compost there. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out my plants. Now I'm going to have this against a wall. So I'm going to do kind of taller plants at the back and then shorter ones at the front to kind of hopefully spill over is my plan. So if I just grab a couple of the ones that I'm gonna, so this is some of the sparkling fountain grass. You can see that it looks like a grass, doesn't it? And I'm just gonna pop that in at the back there. So I'm gonna try and do 3 of those if I can, because like I said, it's quite nice to do odd numbers. There we go. So I don't know if you can see them there. I might actually put a bit more compost in here. so you can see them a bit better. Compost everywhere. Love a bit of mess. So obviously it goes without saying that all of these plants have been hardened off. So I've grown them from seed, they've been hardened off and got used to the cold weather. And although I think it's going to be quite cold this week, I think these ones should be all good. So I'm happy to plant them out. So you've got your 3 grasses in there. And then my gladioli will come up, and then I'm going to put my stocks. So just grab those little ones there. Now as I put these stocks in, I'm actually going to pinch the tips out, and that will just encourage them to branch and grow more flowers, I hope. So I'll show you what I'm doing there. I'm literally just taking my thumb and forefinger and I'm just pinching like that. I'm just pinching the top off. So if you are growing flowers, that's a really good tip. It doesn't work for all plants. So if you're not sure if it's going to work for one of yours, then do give me a message and I can let you know. So I've got 3 stocks there, and then I'm just going to grab, you can see I'm really getting my hands in the soil here because I quite like that. So I'm putting the Senecio quite near the front because they will grow up and kind of almost flop over the edge, is what I'm hoping. And then they'll be very inviting, hopefully, when you're there and you want to touch them. They'll be right there, sort of hanging over the edge, looking at you, is the plan. Okay. Just moving all of these around, actually. Last one. There we go, and pop that one kind of in the middle there. Right. Now my last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some gravel and I'm going to cover over the top. I'm not going to do it live because, oh actually I have got the gravel right there. Let me grab it. She says it's really, really heavy. So you can see this is just like a sharp gravel. Now this does a couple of things. It makes the pot look quite pretty and finishes it off really nicely. It protects against slugs, so if you're planting things in your pots that the slugs might like, then it's quite sharp on the underbelly of the slug, so they don't really like it. And it also helps retain the moisture in the pot, so you'll be watering it less, because once I put this on, I'm going to give it a good water. But obviously it goes without saying that things in pots are going to dry out a lot quicker than things that are planted straight into the ground. So you will need to water it more, but this gravel will just kind of provide a bit of a protective barrier from the water escaping. But it's actually quite a nice feeling, like when you've got it in your fingers, kind of letting it fall through onto the soil below. So anyway, like I said, after I've done this, I'm going to give it a good old water. And then that's it. So there you go. Let me know what you're going to plant in your pots. I'm excited. See you later. Bye.